Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Got a bit of a different derpy video for you guys today. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through some different frequently asked question pages for fragrances, giving you my answer, and occasionally bumping it up against the official answer from these different websites. So today, definitively, you will have answers to every question you ever had about fragrances. Or something like that. Let's jump into it. So we've got a Creed Fragrances frequently asked question page pulled up here. Good old Creed. Creed doesn't like me, I don't think. Something about me saying that their Creed Aventus Anniversary Edition bottle was a cash grab. Anyway, question 1, should I spray my perfume on my skin or my clothes? To that I would say neither. Spray it in your mouth. That way every time you talk, people can smell that Aventus coming out. It's intoxicating. Seriously though, it depends really. For the most part, I would say spray on your skin. That's what you're typically going to do. That's what most people would say you should do. But sometimes if you want a little extra performance, a little extra longevity, I should say, spraying it into your clothes helps. And sometimes you could just go both, spray it on your skin and your clothes. Heck man, spray it into your hair. That works really well for a lot of people. There's no real set rule that says you can only spray on clothes, you can only spray on skin. Yes, off skin, sometimes it's gonna smell a little bit differently. The fragrance might react with your skin in a way that changes the scent up a little bit as compared to spraying on your clothing. Just like spraying onto a tester strip like this is not gonna smell the same as when you spray the fragrance on your skin. So for the most part, I would say spray on your skin, but play around a little bit. You know, if you want to spray it on your clothes, feel free to do that. Unless it's a really dark, heavy fragrance and you're wearing a white t-shirt or something, then don't do that. 2, should I store my fragrance away from sunlight? Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Will the high alcohol content in perfume irritate my skin? Probably not. It's never happened with me. If you have really sensitive skin, then maybe it will, but for the most part, probably not. Why does a perfume smell different on myself compared to other people? Because you need to take a bath and eat more fruits. Really though, it's just the skin chemistry thing. Sometimes you're gonna perceive that fragrance differently coming off somebody else than yourself. I find that after wearing my perfume for a while, I can no longer smell it. Why is this? Because your fragrance has trash performance. Yeah, that's what it is. In all seriousness though, it could be a lot of different things. Could be the performance of the fragrance isn't that good. Could be that you didn't spray enough on. Could be that the weather outside is very unforgiving and the fragrance that you have on isn't working well with whatever environment you're in terms of the weather or temperature. It could be that you've gone nose blind and the fragrance is still there. You've just gone anosmic. That happens oftentimes with fragrances that are really powerful. Maybe you spray too much on and then you go nose blind to it. Sometimes some people are sensitive to particular aroma chemicals or ingredients in a fragrance. And if that's in the fragrance, especially in a high concentration, they may go nose blind, but typically it's gonna be those reasons. How can I make my perfume last longer throughout the day? This is something people have been asking since the beginning of time. Generally, people have accepted that lotion is one of the best ways to go about that, making sure your skin is nice and moisturized. And if you have a non-scented lotion, it's probably the best way to go because then it won't interfere with the fragrance that you're spraying on. Some people also swear by taking something like Molecule 01 and layering that or even mixing it with the fragrance in order to hopefully amp up the performance of the scent. And then some people will take it to the next level. And if they're a fan of like Dior Sauvage, they'll get Sauvage soap and then they'll get Sauvage lotion and all this stuff and they'll just Sauvage up. So every single thing that they're putting on their body smells like Sauvage and hopefully it all comes together and increases performance. Not that Sauvage needs better performance, but you get the idea. How should I change my evening scent from my daytime scent? Wear a different one. I don't understand the question. So I've got on a daytime scent, right? Okay, so how do I wear a different nighttime scent? Like how do I do that? Alternatively, I guess the question could be, you know, what should I wear during the day as compared to the night? I'd like to say there's no hard and fast rule that you can only wear certain things during certain times of the day or certain parts of the year or whatever. Realistically, wear whatever you want, whenever you want, just as long as you understand how that fragrance works for you, how it makes you smell, the performance, where you're going, what you're doing, all that stuff. Generally, people would say something fresher during the day and during the evening, something richer, deeper, more complex and sweeter. But ultimately, you do you. And finally, from Creed, how often should I change my signature scent? as often as you want. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just whenever you want. You don't even need to have a signature scent if you don't want to. Change it every day. Now we're going to the perfumeshop.com. They have a fragrance finder FAQ. It would appear they've got a lot of questions here. I'm not going to open them up to see the answers or anything. I'm just going to run through here and give my answers, and I'm not going to do every question because there's a bunch. Let's pick a couple from choosing a new fragrance. How many different fragrances can I try at once? Many as you want. Now, I'm guessing you're in a store in this situation, like a Macy's or something like that. They do have handy dandy tester strips there. So what I would tell you to do is go around to whatever fragrances interest you, spray those bad boys on a tester strip, give it a nice little whiff, maybe let it settle also. Don't just do the whole thing where you spray, don't like it, that kind of thing. It's not long enough to really get a feel for it. So check it out on the strip. Then if you like it on the strip a lot, enough that you're thinking, maybe I would like to buy that, then go ahead, spray it on your skin somewhere and see how it smells off skin. So test it first on the strip. If you really like it, move to skin. If it works really well there too, then maybe go ahead and buy it. I wouldn't go crazy and spray yourself with like 8 fragrances on your skin, because then you're not going to be able to keep track of what's what. And if you're really going buck wild with the tester strip, spraying a whole lot of stuff, maybe try to get a little pen and write down what's what, because otherwise you're going to have a fragrance and you're going to go, oh, I really like that, but I sprayed 20 things. I don't remember what that is. What is the correct way to try a fragrance? I just answered it. So what I just said. Can I tell if I like a fragrance by sniffing the open bottle? Maybe. Let's say you've got a bottle in the store and you catch a whiff of it there. Oh yeah, it smells nice. Then you should just do what I said just now. So the same thing again, test it and then move it to skin. Test it on the strip, test it on the skin. Wearing and storing fragrance. What's the best way to spray on perfume? So this is kind of a personal thing. Different people like to spray fragrances different places. So ultimately it's wherever makes you happy. I know it's kind of a lame answer, but it's also true. So I'll give you some places that people like to spray fragrances, and you can kind of experiment and figure out where you'd like to. One thing that you'll always hear is people saying pulse points, pulse points, pulse points, pulse points. General idea there is that as your pulse is happening, it's helping push that fragrance out, and also those areas, those parts of your body are a little bit elevated in temperature, which helps the fragrance push out further. So you'll hear people say like your wrists, your neck, those pulse points. I've never had good luck spraying fragrances on my wrists. I did many, many years ago, but it always rubbed off throughout the day, whether because I was sitting at a desk and, it would just rub off on the desk, or walking and it would somehow like rub off on my jeans or something, or picking something up and it would just rub off. So wrists never worked very well for me, but the inside of my elbow always has. So I usually go here. Also sometimes clavicles, behind the ears. You can even spray it into your hair. I don't spray it on my neck really, but a lot of people do like to do that, and upper chest as well. Also the back of your neck works pretty well. Some people like to spray it actually behind their knees. So as they're moving around, it kind of wafts out as you take steps. Where else can I spray perfume apart from my skin? Wherever you want, as long as you're not going up to another person and spraying them in the eyeball or something. I mean, don't do that. But you can spray your clothes, like I said, 5 times at this point. Spray your hair. You could spray your jacket. You could, if you have a purse, you're a lady, or you're a dude and you've got a man bag, you could spray that. Spray whatever. Spray your scarf. Can I wear 2 fragrances at once? No, that's illegal. You'll go to jail. Yes, you can. It's called layering, typically. So layering is done in a bunch of different ways. Some people will take 2 fragrances and combine them, do like a 60-40 or a 50-50 split or something, shake it up and make their own concoction and spray that on. Some people will spray a fragrance onto their skin and let it dry for a second and spray another fragrance on top of it, or just spray one fragrance and spray another on top without letting it dry. I don't usually layer all that much. For me, typically, if I'm wearing a fragrance, I'm just wearing that one fragrance because it's made to stand alone as its own thing. Well, most of them are. Some fragrances are made to be layered, to be fair. But I did have a conversation with my friend and professional perfumer, Richard Urban, who's done fragrances for Bond No. 9, and Tom Ford has his own brand called Precious Liquid, but had a conversation with him, and he said, really, the best way to layer is this. deciding which two fragrances you think would work well together, and then spraying them at different parts of your body, not necessarily right on top of each other. So for example, you could spray one fragrance up here on your shoulders, another fragrance lower down here, and then as you move around, those two fragrances will kind of waft together in the air, and it makes a really pleasant combination instead of just kind of blasting them right on top of each other. Let's go ahead and do just a couple more, and we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Updates and trends. How do I buy fragrances online without smelling it? What do you mean? Like, is it allowed? How do you do it? Well, you would go to a website, maybe Fragrance Net, Fragrance Buy, or if you want to pay retail, Macy's or something like that. You add the fragrances to the cart. You got to make sure you haven't smelled it before, because this is how do I buy fragrances online without smelling it. So make sure it's a blind buy. That's what they call it, a blind buy. And that makes sense, because when you think about it, you're buying it blind in the sense that you haven't smelled it. Nose blind buy. So anyway, you add the fragrances to your cart. Then you check out. When you check out, you're going to have to put in your information, how you want to pay for it, all that good stuff, your shipping. And they're going to ship it to you. And when you receive it, you will have successfully bought a fragrance without smelling it. Good luck. What are the most consistently popular fragrance notes? Well, I'm going to open this up and see what they say. All the other ones I haven't opened up, but this one I will. I'm going to give it my best guess here. It doesn't specify whether it's for men or women. I'm going to say citrus. Bergamot, grapefruit, very popular. Floral notes for women. I would say especially jasmine, if we're including both men and women here. Musk, very popular. For men, woody notes, specifically amber woods, and we'll also go with vanilla. Let's see what they say. Floral notes remain consistently strong, blah, blah, blah. Nothing says summer is here better than the citrus freshness of a timeless eau de cologne. So I guess floral notes is the answer, and citrus. I was going a little more in depth. You guys, you need to ramp this up a little bit. There are so many more questions that I could run through here. Maybe we'll do it again sometime, but for now, let's go ahead and wrap this up. So there we have some of the most burning questions on these frequently asked question pages, answered by yours truly. Kind of fun to do these just stupid videos every so often. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me here until the end. Please do stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.